Yeah, also what's going on, guys? My name is Pwnstar, and this is Good Console Wars. What's up? Everybody loves a nice friendly console war, so I wanna remind you guys before this does get started that the comment section is gonna go crazy. I want you guys to understand there are other people out there that have different opinions than you. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that you have to harass them for that, and you have to insult them and piss them off because they differ from you, because it is YouTube and that's what we do here. So I just wanted to remind you guys, before we start, that you have to be an asshole in the comment section because it's just like some unwritten code. So without further ado, let's talk about the consoles. We're going to talk about the old consoles, the release date, the Xbox 360, the PS3. We're going to talk about them coming into light, and now the newly released Wii U. Now, because we have a new console, I want to talk about those. I also have details and some information not only on the equipment that's supposed to be inside of the Xbox 720, an estimated release date for it, and some other things. So if you want to check that out, I have my website listed down below. I'll be putting an article shortly after I do this commentary up about what I think is going to happen with that, what that's going to do with PlayStation when they're going to release their stuff, and just some speculations and some rumors floating around there. But hopefully you guys will enjoy that article. But without further ado, let's talk about what's going on right now. Let's talk about the Xbox 360. Let's start into the bad news first. On release, I was excited for it, right? I was like, oh, it's a fucking Xbox 360. I was so excited, guys. It's what I sounded like when this game came out. It was before puberty. And what happened was, I started watching the news. My grandparents, my people, everybody were telling me, like, everybody fucking knew about the Xbox, right? And it hit the headlines in the wrong sort of way. 60% of these were recalled or because they were broken in the first 3 months alone. There's a little 13-cent piece of equipment that they could have put inside of every one of the Xboxes to control where the disc would sit, and they didn't put it in there to save money. And a lot of people are like, well, why wouldn't they put a 13-cent piece in there? Because 13-cent piece out of 10 million products, that's a lot of money. So they went the cheap route. And in turn, they got a lot of lawsuits brought on them. There were like 500,000 people that complained saying that their Xbox ate their disc, because all you had to do was slightly knock it, and it would knock it off track and scratch the fuck out of their disc and ruin a $60 game. So they got sued big time. They had a lot of problems, a lot of lawsuits coming in. So their release was very rugged. It was very, very, very rocky. And in my opinion, it scared a lot of people away. Now that's what happened with the Xbox. Now what made the Xbox different back then is we'll compare that versus the PS3 back then and now what it's like nowadays. Let's talk about the PS3 on release. Very, very well hyped, very good looking, graphics wise, performance wise, material wise, hardware wise. It was superior than Xbox in most ways. Not trying to piss anybody off, but that's a fact. You had Blu-ray in it, which was a high selling point. Remember, when this came out, this is when Blu-rays were coming out. I worked at Blockbuster. I had no clue what Blu-rays were. They were starting to bring Blu-rays into the store. They had this giant Bravia up on the TV with a Blu-ray put into it. I remember the first time I ever watched a Blu-ray. It was Fantastic Four. I was looking at it, I'm like, damn, this looks nice. I'm like, oh, look at Jessica Alba looking so fresh. And then I saw she had acne, and I was like, oh, fuck, it's too good. Blu-ray was a big, big selling point for the PlayStation. It really, really was. And the reason for being is because it was initiating the new movement in towards the way that videos were going to go. Everybody loves videos. And at the time, most Blu-ray players were about the price of a PlayStation 3. So there were a lot of old people coming in. You had 40-year-old people coming in like, oh, I want to get a Blu-ray player. I'm like, dude, just buy a PlayStation. You don't even need to play video games. I sold a lot of consoles there, a lot of PlayStation 3s, simply because it had a Blu-ray player in it. So its release was damn near flawless in my opinion. It offered up something that the other consoles couldn't, and a few other reasons. Now what really, really separated these guys at the beginning is the PlayStation 3 also had wireless. The Xbox, I believe, you had to buy an adapter to use wireless, which isn't too big a deal. To be honest, I mean, in my opinion, if you're going to play video games, you might as well hardline it in anyway. It's a more reliable connection. So that wasn't too big a deal for me, but some people, I mean, especially for the PlayStation people, it's more of a casual console than an Xbox One. And the reason I say that is because anybody can play online on PlayStation. If you own Black Ops or something, you want to play Call of Duty, you can. There's nothing stopping you. You may not have any experience in it before. You can wean yourself into it, try to see it. If you like it, go for it. Xbox, on the other hand, they used to charge you for the Xbox Live. That was a big difference to a lot of people. A lot of people did not like it, especially at the start, and the prices have gone up, man. It used to be $40 and $50 for a few years, and then now it's $60. And it's going to keep growing. Well, I don't think it's going to grow beyond this, and the reason for being is because the Xbox 720 is going to come out, and my guess, that bitch is going to be expensive. You better get a sugar daddy. But seriously, so at release, the PlayStation, in my opinion, was a far superior console than the Xbox 360. Now, what usually slips the opinions, what usually slips the user to choose which one they want, is almost always one of a few things. It's either A, previous experience. I, for one, have spent far more time on PlayStation than I have on the Xbox. A lot of people ask me, Pone, you got Black Ops 2 for Wii U, PC, Xbox 360, and PS3. Why do you play it on PS3? A lot of people ask me that all the time. You play it on PC, Xbox. Why do you play it on PS3? I grew up on PS3, man. I'm used to the controller. That's comfort. That's reliability. That's my little area, you know. I'm used to doing it. I remember my days back in the day playing, you know, Crash Bandicoot. I've played on the PlayStation controller for years. It's what I'm accustomed to. So that's why I choose it. That's one of the main reasons that if I had to pick one system to stay with, it would be the PlayStation 3. And it's not because it's better, but it's because it's what I prefer. It has nothing to do with it. Was anytime anybody decides on a console, it's not going to be because of hardwire, or not hardwire, but the hardware in it. But it's usually because of either an exclusive title or, you know, previous experiences. That's the other, you know, catch to it too. Xbox, in my opinion, has far better exclusive titles. You've got Halo, you've got Gears of War. What's PlayStation got? You got Little Big Planet, you know, Killzone, Resistance, great titles, but they don't get the attention that they deserve. Not at all. Not near compared. You know, Halo and Gears are always like Game of the Year contenders. Not so much for the PlayStation titles. And I just wanted to throw that out there, man. I'm being completely honest. I don't choose sides. So I wanted to put that out there. I mean, that's usually what tips the hat towards which console which people buy. Let's talk about how they look. You remember the menus of the PlayStation? That shit is horrible. The inner workings of the console when you're actually up and running, the PlayStation sucks compared to Xbox. They got the party system, they got the menus, the apps. Xbox has got their shit together, and it looks incredible. And I don't know if that's because you spend the extra $50 so they can spend the extra money to get their things looking fresh. I don't know. You pay for what you get. That could be it. Maybe that's why, you know, Sony and PlayStation, you know, from what kind of empire they have, they still have a shitty setup for their, you know, their menus. I mean, it's horrible. Their friend bar, oh, it's disgusting. I don't even want to talk about it right now. I'm going to vomit. And that's just where I stand on that one. Now, the other catches, the other opinion now, we brought into the new light. Now, Xbox did what I consider to be smart. Now, a lot of people say, oh, no, they stole us from Xbox. They stole us from PS3. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. To be a contender, you've got to be able to keep up with the competition. You know, that works in cable, movies, television, anything. So if the PlayStation comes out with something that the Xbox doesn't have, I bet you the next generation of consoles is going to do that because it needs to be on level with the other one. You have to keep up with your competition or you're going to fall behind. So that's what they do. So they took a couple books out of, you know, out of the Wii's notebook. Not many people like the Wii. It generally sat collecting dust after the first month after you purchased it. The hype was gone. It was dead. Nintendo is never going to be a contender, in my opinion, in this community. It's always going to be between PlayStation and Xbox or, you know, PC. But PC could even be dying to some because it's an expensive thing to keep up with. Shut up, phone. But to be honest, let's talk about what happened. So they both started taking a little thing out of the Nintendo's book. You know, the Move and Kinect. They're trying to do things like that. That's what gave the Wii that edge. It's a family system. It's a fun system, whereas it's more competitive and, you know, mainstream with the other consoles, which is cool. Graphics held it back a lot. So the Nintendo Wii was nothing. And then it started to move on. So the PlayStation on release for the first couple of years was better than the Xbox, in my opinion. Nowadays, I think they're on par. I think they're even. Xbox is better, you know, user system. It's got a lot better exclusives. PlayStation's got, you know, a couple of decent exclusives and the Blu-ray abilities. So it's just going to tip your hat on whichever one you prefer. To be honest, they're on par. Xbox moved up. They got better systems with less problems, runs softer, smoother, quieter. They brought in, you know, better hard drive. They brought in the ability to have wireless built in. So they did upgrade to keep up with PlayStation. They did a smart move with that. Let's talk about the Wii U. Let's talk about being 5-6 years too late. Now, the Wii U is a better console than the other two out there. But that's what you should expect out of somebody that had an extra 5 or 6 years to keep up. Not to mention it's going to need to contend with the soon-to-be-released Xbox 720 of next year. It's coming out next year? Yeah, like I said, you better read that article. So next year, we're supposed to expect the next-gen consoles. So this is what I want to talk about, the Wii U. What are you doing, bro? Why are you released right now? I think it's solely for a strong start, which is always what happens. The Nintendo products get hyped up. They get enough promotion. They get out there. They get outsold right before Christmas. Now, it's a smart move to be the only console being released in a year, which is a brilliant move. What's going to happen next year? They're trying to hit hard and strong at the very start. They're sitting here trying to make and sell copies, you know, during warm-up, where the race doesn't even start till next year when the new consoles come out. You know what I mean? So, like, why try to stab early? And it's because you know your console can't keep with the other ones, which is an act of despotism in my mind. That's not even a word, is it? Fuck it, we're going with it. it just really gets really rough because Nintendo is obviously not in there. So they got another 10 to 15 years before they'll even come close to contending with the other consoles. Their exclusives are never going to be solid enough. Even though they are like history, they are the landmarks of what started a lot of video games. They're never going to contend with the modern day, popular titles. So with the Wii U coming out, it did a great job. In my opinion, it's the best console out there right now. Is it worth your money? Probably not. You should probably wait in most situations. But the Wii U is, in fact, the best console out there. Not only does it promote the skill for those guys, it has the classic controller. It does have the ability. The controller is almost exactly like the Xbox One. It does have the Wiimote ability, which allows you to have that fun experience when you're hanging out with friends, family, or just giving you something different. I mean, by far, the most fun I've ever had playing Call of Duty is by using the Wiimote. And on the other side, they have brought in this new tablet, this touchscreen tablet that allows you to not only play with it, but you can be sitting on the couch. Something else could be on TV, so you could be playing on your tablet. You could be using the tablet and looking at the screen. There's so many ways that you can use this, and it's an incredible feature, don't get me wrong, but the next consoles are already preparing to create their own. And, so things are changing right now. So I don't think the Wii U will ever be a contender anytime soon in the console war. So that's where I stand with it. I want to know what you guys think. So leave a comment down below. Which console do you like and what reasons? Is it an exclusive title? Is it because you prefer the controller? Or what it is? I want to know honestly what you guys think about it. Now that the Wii U's out, you have a third console out there that is worth contending for. But in any given time, I hop on PlayStation, there's 500,000. 500,000 people playing Call of Duty. There's like 200 playing on Wii U. And that may just because there's limited consoles or people don't know about it, they're saving their money or what it is. But that's what you're going to look forward to, that it's going to be a little bit rough for those kind of games like the Wii U. So I just wanted to put that out there. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this commentary. Like I said, there have been a couple things that lean towards Xbox, how it's set up. A couple flaws in a lot of opinion is paying for Xbox Live. It doesn't have the Blu-ray. But again, it's always going to come down to preferences. It's opinion. There isn't a better console between those two. It's just a preference. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Remember to drop a rating on it. A like really does help me out a lot. YouTube's been busted. So make sure you follow me on Twitter and Facebook, too, to not miss an episode. Like I said, if you want to find out a little bit more about the next-gen consoles, check out the article down below. It's on my website. Peace out. Get it!